Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. We are going to do a live best ball draft on Yahoo, $10 entry, 10-team picking from the 6th position. I love this team. I got multiple awesome stacks with huge upside. You definitely got to check it out. Here we go.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. And hey, before we begin today, if you could please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share this with your friends, or of course, subscribe. All those things help me out on the YouTube algorithm, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. We're going to do a draft today, a live best ball draft on Yahoo. It's a 10-team league. This is a $10 entry, and we're going to see what kind of team we can build. So I'm very excited to try it out here. And as soon as the league gets filled, we are going to go. We're going to set up our My Perfect Fantasy draft, and we're going to get this thing going. So I'll be right back. All right there, friends. So the list is set up. I am picking 6th in a 10-team league. So let's go ahead and get our draft set up. So I invite you to go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. That's where you're going to find my app. It is exclusively on my website, and it's a web-based app. You can access it from any web-connected device with your browser. When you log in, it's going to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, how does your league score points? And in this case, we're going to choose best ball half PPR league. So the difference between this half PPR and the other half PPR is that this is specifically for best ball. I actually set it up so that it ignores the consistency rating for players when it's evaluating the VORC score. So consistency does not matter in best ball because you don't have to roster what players you want to start. It just rosters the best players of each group. So that makes it very easy. Let's go ahead and select that. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? I'm just going to say no. And then do you want to enter draft mode? Yes. So we go 10-team, picking 6. Let's go ahead and enter draft mode. And what you see is you got your player list right here. You got your position filters, but it's going to change to bring in draft mode. So this represents each round of the draft. It's going to be 17 rounds. I'm going to just minimize the recommendations, but we're going to go to the first round pick. And what it's recommending for us is Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, or Aaron Jones. Now, I do like the idea of going with a running back first, just because of how quickly that the running back position depletes itself. So, but we're going to go for what I call the positional dominant strategy, where I try to get myself a top 3 tight end and a top 3 quarterback in the first 5 rounds. So that's what we're going to work on. I think what we might end up doing is perhaps 2 running backs, then a tight end, then a wide receiver, then a quarterback. And we should be able to get the players that we want to get. You can see it's 4 minutes till the draft starts. But what I want to do here is let's set up some guys on the queue. I love to use the queue during a live draft. It really helps. It prevents you from getting tunnel vision on a single player. And so right now, again, Aaron Jones is the target. But if we look at other running backs, you've got Cook, Kamara, and Elliott. If any of those guys made it, actually, I'm going to do it like this. So Cook, Kamara, Elliott, then Jones. So if any of those guys make it, they'll be at the top of the list, and we'll be able to do that. You can see it's also recommending Antonio Gibson, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, and Derrick Henry is a long shot, but I'm not really interested in Derrick Henry in this league. But we could certainly bring up Gibson, Taylor, and Eckler as reaches. So if we go to running backs, let's see here. There's Eckler, Gibson, and Taylor as reaches on the next round. And then once you're done setting up your players for the first round, you can go to the next round. You can start looking at the players there. So for the second round, it's recommending Najee Harris, DK Metcalf, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Love all those guys. I think they're great. But again, I think our target is going to be running backs. So we could put Najee and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you can see both of them right ahead of Gibson, Taylor, and Eckler, who we already queued. So I think what I want to do here, let's take off Taylor, Eckler, and Gibson, and we'll instead CEH and Najee Harris. So going with a 1-2 punch, of probably Aaron Jones. Oh, I'll be right back after this video. All right, and so the other thing I'm going to do for this draft, and this is something I do in most of my live drafts, it's a little harder with these 30-second rounds, with your 30-second turn, but we are going to be tracking. I track on a little piece of paper next to me. I got it right here. And what I do is I'm going to track the quarterbacks and the tight ends, how many have come off the board. And I'm going to track both the guy before me, who is Rob, and the guy after me, who is Corby, as to who they're taking to better strategize who I should be taking in each round. So we're going to be utilizing that during the course of the draft as best we can with the 30-second timer, because, man, this goes quick. So, that's something that is much easier to do if it's a 1.5 or 2-minute timer. But I know they don't do that on these best ball leagues, but that's what we're going to do. So, like I said, just waiting for this draft to start. Let me get the draft board up so we can see what's going on here. And again, the goal of this draft is let's get ourselves the best team in the league. Now, I got to tell you, I've done a lot of best ball drafts, and they usually come out with middling rankings, but I was reviewing them again, and most of my rankings have improved since I did the draft, including 2 that are now ranked as the best in the league. So that just goes to show you what happens with attrition, I guess, as players get injured and are not practicing and are done for the season and stuff like that. So that's very encouraging. I don't know how real that is as far as how that works, how they get those ratings. But it's nice to see that in general, my teams have been improving over time without even the season happening. So, all right, here we go. So we got Christian McCaffrey to start things out. What a surprise. Dalvin Cook, what a surprise at 2. Let's see, is it going to be Derrick Henry or is it going to be Alvin Kamara at 3? We will find out here. And so, again, we've already got our guys queued up. Again, I love having the list up here. Okay, so Alvin Kamara comes off. It's going to be Derrick Henry next. And probably Zeke. Now, if Zeke makes it to us, we'll take Zeke. Otherwise, we're going to take Aaron Jones. Okay, so Zeke did not make it to us. Let's go ahead and take Aaron Jones with our first pick. And I do like that. I'm just going to mark Rob off as having 1 running back on my little list here to kind of track who is taking what. This is going to help me decide if I need to take somebody in advance. Whether or not they've, let's say, Rob takes 3 running backs in a row. Well, I'm going to see that he's probably not going to take a 4th running back. But if there's a wide receiver I really like, that's going to prompt me to want to take that, before his next pick. So the guy after us, Corby, he also took Saquon Barkley. So that's 1 running back for each of us. Travis Kelce goes at the end of the first round here. Austin Eckler, Najee Harris. Look at this. No wide receivers have been taken yet. That is kind of shocking. Najee Harris did come off. That's one of my targets. So I think I'm going to go for Clyde Edwards-Helaire with my second pick. But it is surprising to see that no wide receivers went off in the first round. And we got Jonathan Taylor. It's almost back to us now. So Corby is picking again. Corby took Tyreek Hill. I'm going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Again, starting off with 2 running backs. And those are my 2 highest rated players for this round. And so let's go to the third round. Probably going to want to take a tight end. And it's probably going to be George Kittle. So let's just go ahead and get the tight ends queued up here. Now, if I miss on Waller or Kittle, that's going to kind of mess up my strategy. But there's a good chance he's going to make it to us, especially here in a 10-team league. 12-team, I wouldn't want to be in this position for the third round to try to take a tight end. But we can look at wide receivers. So third round wide receivers, if we don't get the guy that we want. Look, Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown are both long shots. That's what the gun means. It means it's a long shot for that round. So let's go ahead and get the wide receivers. We've got A.J. Brown. We've got Keenan Allen. It says it's much more likely that we would get someone like Terry McLaurin or Allen Robinson. I like both those options. And then we got CeeDee Lamb, Robert Woods, Mike Evans as reaches, which means they might even make it to our next pick. So let's go ahead and put McLaurin and Robinson on. Robinson and McLaurin, and then Woods, Evans, and Jefferson. Let's see here. Woods, Evans, and Jefferson here. So I'm wondering if that's going to happen. So on the draft results, so after we took Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Rob also took a wide receiver. So they're both running back, wide receiver, both the guy in front of me and behind me. Looks like Justin Jefferson came off. Darren Waller came off. So I think we're in good position to potentially get George Kittle here, although I've learned that as I talk about players, they tend to go off the board. So Rob might snipe me on this, but he didn't. He took another running back in J.K. Dobbins. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to take Kittle with my third pick. We've had one quarterback come off the board in Patrick Mahomes. We've had 3 tight ends, although I don't need to really worry about that now that I have my tight end set. I'm just going to need to give myself a second or a third tight end to close this out. But Corby, he took a second wide receiver. So Corby's gone heavier wide receiver. Rob's gone heavier running back in the first 3 rounds here. And that's where we're at. So let's look at the 4th round. Let's see what's going on. 4th round, let's get ourselves a wide receiver. We really need one. So we got CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans, both long shots. Robert Woods, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp. These are all good choices. Chris Godwin. So let's go ahead and go to the players, wide receivers. I'd love to get Woods in the 3rd. I love Woods. But let's see here. There's Kupp. There's DJ Moore. There is Godwin. Godwin would actually be really, really good for the next round if he makes it to us. Look, Allen Robinson is still on the board. So there are some excellent choices here. I might go for Chris Godwin here. But let's just see what's going on in the draft results. So it looks like, okay, so we got sniped on our top 3 quarterbacks. So that is a bummer, but that's okay. We can work on stacks now. So Allen Robinson made it to us. Robert Woods, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Godwin here in the 4th round. I really like Godwin here. His value, he's pretty much fair value, a little bit overvalued at this point. But for 5th round, since we're not going to get a quarterback now, let's go ahead and look at perhaps getting ourselves another running back. So if we go to the running back list, let's look at running backs. Travis Etienne, Kareem Hunt. Did Josh Jacobs already get taken? Somebody already took. Oh yeah, look at that. Someone took Josh Jacobs at 37. Travis Etienne, Kareem Hunt would be a good choice for our 3rd. Our flex, basically. Those would be my best options. For wide receiver in the 5th round, again, we've already got him highlighted, Cooper Kupp. Lockett is good. Deontay Johnson doesn't rate quite as well, but let's get Lockett on the queue because Lockett is like the perfect kind of player for best ball. Where is Lockett? There he is. So on the draft results, if we're looking, so right before us, Corby took David Montgomery. So he's got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. The guy after us also had 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So they're both very balanced. Of course, I'm sitting here with Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, George Kittle, Chris Godwin. And so who's available? So DJ Moore did make it to us in the 5th round. DJ Moore rates as the best of the wide receivers. You know what? I kind of like that. Let's go ahead. Let's take DJ Moore. And so we've got ourselves 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. It looks like Rob took another wide receiver, and Corby took another wide receiver. So both those guys are rocking 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs each. Now for the 6th round, if we're looking, we got guys like Brandon Aiyuk. That would be, you know what? I kind of like that. Let's go to the players. Brandon Aiyuk maybe. T. Higgins. A little bit nervous about Galladay. Don't really trust that. How about running backs? Chase Edmonds rates very well at this point. Running backs. There's Chase Edmonds. Okay. And it is almost back to us. Let's see what's going on here. So, all right. So people are taking their tight ends. So Corby just took a tight end. And so Brandon Aiyuk made it to us along with T. Higgins, Chase Edmonds. I think I'm going to go for Brandon Aiyuk. So I've taken 3 wide receivers now. Chris Godwin, DJ Moore, Brandon Aiyuk. Rob took another running back. So he's going totally balanced right now. 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. But things are looking pretty good here. We'll see if Chase Edmonds makes it to our next pick. 7th round. Let's take a look at the 7th round. So not a lot of great options for running back. You see the VORC score here. Very poor for these players. And it's kind of a dead zone. I don't really like this round for that. But for wide receivers, we got some great options. Chase Claypool, Jamar Chase, Robbie Anderson, Kenny Galladay, not that great. Really, and these guys don't even rate that well. But that's because they're dealing with injuries. So Claypool, Chase, and Anderson, I like that. Let's go ahead and do wide receivers. Chase, Claypool, and where's Robinson? Oh, Robbie Anderson, excuse me. All right, so how are we doing on the draft results here? So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've had 7 quarterbacks taken. So I might want to use, if I can get myself Brady, I think would be good. Oh, look, another quarterback came off. Okay, let's go ahead and take our first quarterback. And I'm going to pair up Tom Brady. I'm stacking him. I'm stacking him with Godwin. So I like that. So now we're taking, and so let's see here. Rob took Justin Herbert. So he's good there. And so now I got Brady and Godwin. I might also want to try to get myself Antonio Brown, who will be coming up very soon here. But I really kind of need to get myself another running back. Chase Edmonds still on the board. So that is, we'll see if he makes it back to us. I do not anticipate that he would make it back to us. But for the 8th round, if we're looking at running backs, again, just not great options. I'm more inclined to let's look at something with good value. We got lots of great options here for wide receiver. Again, the 4th through the 8th round, just golden for these kind of players. But Judy and Boyd and Sutton and Juju, all those guys are good options in my opinion. So let's go. There's Juju, there's Judy, there's Boyd. Look, Kenny Galladay is still on the board, although I consider him very risky, although he would be my 4th wide receiver. So that would temper that risk a little bit. Let's just look at all the players. Trey Sermon's still on the board. He might be worth a risky pick. But we're only 3 to our next pick here. So after we took Tom Brady, Corby took Odell Beckham. So he's got 4 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end. Someone took Sermon. Someone took Gordon. So if Chase Edmonds makes it to us, we'll take him. Damn it. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the running backs real quick. I'm just not thrilled with any of these guys. I think I'm just going to go. I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster. I'll take him. So we're doing really good on wide receiver for draft results. As here, he took Chase Edmonds, so that was his. Chase Edmonds was his 3rd running back, yeah. And then right after us, that guy took Galladay. Rob took Galladay. Okay, so we're cruising along here. Now I think on this next pick, I'm going to be looking at possibly grabbing our quarterback, grabbing another quarterback, and that would be Trey Lance, because we got Aiyuk, and to get the double stack, I think would be really, really super good. Let's also look at where are we heading into? Are we in the 9th round now? Yeah, we're heading into the 9th round. Let's just look. Running backs, who do we got? A.J. Dillon, perhaps, if he makes it to us. That's a nice choice. Is he still on the board? Let's take a look. Running backs, A.J. Dillon is still on the board. Not really any other really good options there. But look, Brandon Cooks, Devonta Smith, both those guys look really good for wide receivers. So Brandon Cooks. There's Antonio Brown. Cortland Sutton made it. So we've got some decent options here. Let's go. We definitely need to get ourselves another running back. So let's go ahead. Let's take Dillon. We've been kind of lax on the running backs. And then 10, if we could get Kenyon Drake, that'd be great. That would be excellent. Whoops, running backs. Kenyon Drake is right there. Okay, that would make me feel a lot better about how that's going. Now let's look at what these guys did. So Rob took another running back, so he's at 4, 4, and 1. He still hasn't taken a tight end. The other guy took Leonard Fournette, so he's got 4 running backs as well. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 quarterbacks off the board. It looks like a lot of people are stacking quarterbacks. Look at that, Mahomes and Jackson. Why would you do that? Murray and Rodgers. Why would you stack those guys? It just doesn't make any sense. You're only playing one. Only one's going to get you the points. All right, so Corby just took a quarterback, his first quarterback, Joe Burrow. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Drake, and then I'm going to kind of plan for next round to take our next quarterback. So I like that we got A.J. Dillon and Kenyon Drake to back up Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Aaron Jones. That's really good. Wide receivers are excellent, man. Godwin, Moore, Aiyuk, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Super happy with that. And I got the stack Tom Brady with Chris Godwin. And, if I can get Trey on the next pick, that would be excellent. And so we've already got him queued up. Let's see here. What other players? So Jamal Williams, a good choice. Let's get Jamal Williams on the queue. Where is he? He might already be gone. No, he's still there. Okay, Jamal Williams still there. As far as wide receivers go, Jarvis Landry, Curtis Samuel. Oh, it's back to us. Okay, so let's go ahead and take Trey Lance. I'm going for a double stack too, but I'm doing a smart double stack. And I got Kittle too. So I got Trey Lance stacked with Aiyuk and Kittle. Yes, I really like that. That is pretty sweet. I don't think we need to get another quarterback. Maybe I'll grab one in the last round. Maybe I'll grab like Roethlisberger or Sam Darnold or something just to shore that up a little bit. We are now sitting. We got 14 quarterbacks taken. I'm not really worried about quarterbacks anymore. Corby took another running back, so he's got 5. Rob finally took his tight end. You know what? And there's still really good tight ends on the board here. I kind of really like Jonnu, but I don't think I need to take him this round. Jamal Williams is still on the board. We're in the 12th round. Let's see here. What's the app saying for the 12th round? Gallup, Waddle. There's some good options here. Jamal Williams made it. Let's go ahead and take Jamal Williams. And then maybe next round, if we can get him, let's queue up Jonnu. I really like his touchdown upside. Maybe someone like Irv Smith. Evan Ingram, it's a contract year, but Jonnu's kind of like the guy that I really want in this offense. So that's okay. So for 13th round, let's see what we got. So other players we can consider. We got Ruggs, Marvin Jones, Russell Gage. Oh, there's so many good wide receivers. Jeez. Look, Marquise Brown's still on the board. Let's see. There's Ruggs. Who else were we looking at? Marvin Jones. Is he already gone? He might already be gone. Let's see. Yeah, he's already gone. It's not surprising. Antonio Brown is gone too. Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Okay. But Russell Gage, Mooney. Let's look at the running backs. J.D. McKissick. That's not necessarily a bad choice. J.D. McKissick is still there. All right, let's go and okay. So what do we got? Okay, so Jonnu Smith did make it. So let's go ahead. Let's take Jonnu here, and maybe I'll get one more before the end of the draft. So we're already at 13. So we only got 4 rounds left. So if I got one more running back, one more quarterback, one more tight end, that give me room for maybe one more running back and one more wide receiver. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've only got 4 wide receivers. I really need to get another one, at least one more. So let's see for the 14th round for wide receivers. McCole Hardman is a perfect best ball kind of player. Let's see here. Is he still on the board? There's some interesting names still up here. Look, Jalen Waddle is still here. Jacoby Myers is a guy that I really like. Looks like Hardman's already gone. Look, there's Gage. Gage is great. And maybe even a Devontae Parker. Shoot. I mean, at this point in the draft, that is really screaming value. Let's look at running backs real quick here. So Rashad Penny I like. Darrell Williams I like. Let's see here. Devontae Booker, Samaje Perine, Salvin Ahmed. Okay, those are kind of like the backups that I'm looking to get on most of my leagues. Okay, so look, Ruggs is still available. Shoot, I'll take Ruggs as my 5th. And let's just look at the draft results here. So Ruggs is still there. I'm almost comfortable here just going with. I don't think I need another wide receiver, man. I'm real comfortable with those 5. That's a real nice group there. I like that. Let's see here. All right, so we're in the 15th round now. 15th round. Who are we looking at? So here's when it says we should take Jacoby Myers, Gabriel Davis. That's a high upside wide receiver that I really like. Wide receivers. Where are you, Gabriel? There you are. Gabriel Davis. As far as running backs go, not really recommending anything. Again, quarterbacks and tight ends, we're just kind of looking at Everett could have some touchdown upside. Is he still available? Yeah, he is. All right, so we got J.D. McKissick still on the board. You know what? I'm going to take McKissick. How are we doing? 2 spots left. So Gerald Everett, if he made it back to us, would be a good choice. Look, Ebron is another guy who I actually really like. As a tight end too. I think he's a great tight end too. If you need that kind of a player. For quarterbacks, who's still available? Justin Fields just went. Taysom Hill, grab Taysom Hill. There's Sam Darnold. Get a triple stack going. All right. I don't know if I really need a third. I'm super comfortable with Brady and then the emergence of Trey Lance. I think it's going to be just a killer combo. But I don't have to quite make that decision yet. So Russell Gage still on the board. Devontae Booker, Jamal Williams. Oh, you know what? I could grab Jamal Williams just because I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Kind of like that. Let's go to all players. Who's sitting at the top? Look, Latavius is still around. That's a decent choice, especially at this point of the draft. Although there are rumors that he is on the cut list, which is kind of surprising given that they don't really have anybody behind Kamara, Cole Beasley is another guy that, if I could get a clear reading as to if he's actually going to play, that would be very helpful. So Latabius Murray did make it, although I do like the idea of taking Jamal Williams. Okay. And then for my tight ends, again, I got Kittle and I got Jonnu, who's still available on tight ends. So Eric Ebron would be the one that I would really be interested in. I think I'll take a third one, just to be sure. So I like this draft. It went pretty well, I'm sure it's not going to like my Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think both these guys have just huge upside this year. I'm really, really excited about it, especially Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire could be a top 5 guy. Just based on the touchdown reversion, not negative regression, reversion. Based on the number of touches he's going to get a lot of touchdown opportunities. With a better offensive line, it's all good. It's all good in Kansas City. Just looking here at the other ones. Let's look at the players. Oh my God, Latavius Murray. Did something happen? Was there some news on Latavius Murray that we don't know about? Was he cut? Fighting for roster spot. That's what's keeping him off the list. You know what? I'm going to take Latavius. And that would be my last pick. Okay, great. So we'll just come back. We'll see what Yahoo thinks of this team. I like this team a lot. Let's just review. So I've got we'll review when I look at the rating. All right, they got me going at middle of the road right here, 5th, which I kind of disagree with. Although I do lack kind of the high upside talent from an elite running back, but that's okay. I'm good with that. Look, we got Tom Brady and Trey Lance as our quarterbacks, and the best part about that is I got both these guys stacked with key players. Tom Brady stacked with Chris Godwin, my number 1 wide receiver. I then also have DJ Moore and then Brandon Aiyuk, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Henry Ruggs. Brandon Aiyuk is stacked with Trey Lance, as is George Kittle. So that is just unbelievable. That's a fantastic stack. And I do anticipate Trey Lance to be playing by about week 4. That's what I'm thinking right now. Maybe after the bye, they'll start him up. But I'm very comfortable with that. I'm very comfortable with only rostering those 2. As far as running backs, I got a nice deep wide receiver core. Wow. Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, A.J. Dillon, Kenyon Drake, Jamal Williams, J.D. McKissick, Jamal Williams, and Latavius Murray. Now, I want you to think about this. I've got Aaron Jones and I've got both handcuffs to my 2 starters, so I got that set. And then I got the handcuff to Josh Jacobs. I've got the handcuff to DeAndre Swift. I've got the handcuff to Antonio Gibson and the handcuff to Alvin Kamara. That's pretty darn good. I like that. And then I also got Jonnu Smith. I decided not to take a third tight end. I'm comfortable with going with those 2. Love the touchdown upside of Jonnu Smith on that offense. So I think this is a very, very good team. I'm very happy with the results here. Love the fact that I got both Brady and Trey Lance to do those stacks. I keep getting sniped on the stacks. I'm like, oh, I'm totally fine waiting until my next pick to take this quarterback. And then, of course, he gets taken before my next pick. But it didn't happen this game, and I think I went early enough on Trey Lance to get him. So, yeah, I like this. This went great. I'm super happy. So thank you very much for watching. Why don't you let me know what you think of this team? Where did I screw up? Is this really a 5th ranked team or is it better? Like I said, my best buy teams have been like improving over time with no football being played. Their just rankings have just been creeping up across the board pretty much. So that makes me feel pretty good as well. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a great fantasy day, and I will talk to you soon.